Hello there, gang. It's David here with a... Who else is it going to be? Regardless, it's me with a special request for you guys. Get to the point, Dave. It's nearly Christmas, so I'm going to be doing my end-of-year Best Action Figures of the Year video. And that's where I need you guys now. For the third year, that's kind of crazy. For the third year running now, I'm asking you guys to send me your videos telling me what your favorite action figure of 2022 was. So all you got to do is... I'm going to do like an example for you. You can be like... Boom! Hi, my name's David from London, and my favourite action figure of the year is the Renew Your Vows Spider-Man. And that's it. Thanks very much. Merry Christmas, everyone. That's all you need to do. Or if you don't want to be on camera, then you can just do one of those action figure in front of the camera type things, being like, yo, I'm Joe Blogs from Whoville, and my favourite action figure of 2022 is, again, Renew Your Vows Spider-Man. Wow, this guy's popular. So yeah, if you want to do that, guys, that would be awesome. You send me the video and I'll include it. And I'm guessing it's going to be a whopper one this year. So that'll be dropping, hopefully, around Christmas. It'll be a little Christmas present, but hopefully it's going to be a big one because I want to include as many people as possible. So guys, get those videos over to me either at the email address or on Instagram, and I'll throw them in and we'll be a part of this model behavior community. Thank you so much for all of your help and contributions. And until Christmas, keep displaying model behavior.
Chill. Yeah.
Hello there, gang, and welcome to another episode of Displaying Model Behavior, the Earth's mightiest video podcast. So take off your pants, crack a beer, and let's talk about the nerdy news that you need to know about. It's the only news that matters. It's good news. And on today's show, Mario disrupts the World Cup, Peter Parker is a fashion icon, and Ryan Reynolds has minutes to spare. But as you know, here at Model Behavior, action figures always come first, or sometimes not at all. So let's talk about them.
Coming up first, Beast Kingdom have revealed their new Goliath figure from Gargoyles.
Man, it's tough to even try and impersonate that voice. But yes, we are getting a Beast Kingdom Goliath. So if you haven't started collecting the NECA Gargoyles, then maybe this is your chance to jump on the start of this one. Because that was always my barrier to entry now for NECA Gargoyles. I'm like, there's too many of them out. I can't start collecting now. It would just cost a fortune to go back and get them all. So I won't do it. But Beast Kingdom, they're even more expensive, but I can get it on the ground floor. That's how I encourage myself to do these things. He does look cool, but I gotta say, just like me personally, my own sort of perspective, my own tastes, I think I prefer the look of the NECA ones, to be honest. Although this one does have a whole lot more going for him. 3 different heads, light up functions, cloth goods. This is definitely a whole lot more high end. We don't have a price for him yet, but I'm guessing I'm going to go out on a little model behavior limb and say probably about $84, I'm going to say. But until we have any more information, we can only speculate. Still, he looks super beautiful. Is this going to be the start of a whole new wave of Gargoyles figures? I don't know. Depends on whether or not this one sells well. So guys, let me know. Have you got the NECA Gargoyles? Have you not? So are you going to get this one instead? Do you not like Gargoyles at all? Are you a young wee baby who's never even seen the show? Because it's like 30 years old now. That's, time is something else. Still, he looks pretty cool. Statue time now, and Prime One Studios are giving us the Joker in his Batman costume. This just really caught my eye. You know, I only occasionally do statues when I see something and I'm like, that's too cool not to talk about. This looks so awesome. It's based on an actual story. It's not just a concept or anything. Let me read you the little blurb about the story that Bleeding Cool News had. Appearing in Batman number 99, part of the Joker War arc, the Joker has further violated not only Batman's property, but also his teetering psyche. He has committed yet another act of unimaginable perversion. The Joker has reanimated Alfred's dead body, and stolen the future Batsuit that Alfred made for Batman. A future where Batman would have been ready to become a brighter symbol of Gotham. However, that brighter future is in peril as the Joker has taken Batman's future suit and defiled it with his own take on the Caped Crusader's costume. This looks awesome. I was going to say like badass and awesome, almost said like boresome, but that'll do as well. This is a boresome looking design. Should be for $1,499, and it's going to be available right about April of 2024, so you can start saving up now. Or just like me, you can admire the pictures and think, yeah, that does look pretty awesome. Or boresome. Super 7 are reissuing their Voltron in a gold and black version, their Voltron Defender of the Universe Galaxy, which is an interesting name, but that's what it's called, and he looks kind of fun and funky. This is very similar to some other figures I'm going to talk about later, where it's just, yeah, a different kind of color scheme, just if you want to bolster your Voltron display, I suppose. I don't know if there's a story behind this look. I'm not au fait with Voltron at all. I gotta say, there's a whole lot of ignorance going on this one. Even ignorance about this action figure. I don't have a release date or a price for it yet. But you know what? Blame Toy Ark for that. Come on, guys. How am I supposed to take the information that you put on the internet if you don't give it all to me in one go? So go and check out Toy Ark for any updates that might be on there. That's my usual go-to. They're great. They have all the scoops. So yeah, Voltron Super 7 coming out at some time for some price. Looks kind of fun. McFarlane DC have shown a teaser image of their Dark Knight's Metal Gladiator Batman. And now this, look, DC is so bonkers, and I kind of enjoy that. I was listening to a Batman Iceberg today, and just hearing about all the different Elseworld stories and the utterly ludicrous, bonkers, nonsense versions of different characters. It's good fun. I respect it. And also, like, look, I'm a Spider-Man fan, and we have Spider-Verse and Peter Porker, so it goes both ways. So I don't know what the backstory is, but I do know that we also have this Spartan-looking Gladiator Superman coming out as well. So these two together, they are going to look pretty wicked. So this is only the initial presentation picture, the little teaser, if you will. So we don't have any more information, but I'd imagine being McFarlane, it's going to be a reasonable kind of price between 20 and 25 bucks, and you know, all the standard gumph. It's going to come out eventually. When it does, I'll have it on here. In the meantime though, it does look kind of nice. Now, you know me, I'm a big music aficionado and I love my hippity hop, and therefore I'm a big fan of Run the Jewels, which Super 7 are making action figures of the two Run the Jewels guys. Of course, they are Killer Mike and LP. I don't know hippity hop, but I do know fun, quirky looking action figures when I see them, and these guys, they look kind of fun and quirky. So nothing else to add, because it is what it is. There's the pictures. Take them all in. It'll be fun if you're having like a music kind of display. They're doing the Beastie Boys as well in various incarnations. Now you can add Run the Jewels as well. And yeah, it's a good time to be an action figure music fan. Mezco are releasing their Cousin Eddie with Bella accessory figure set, and looks kind of fun. I mean, that's all I can really say about the Cousin Eddie type stuff. Like, I don't have any of the pink skulls or any of the other Mezco Rumble Society. That's not Rumble Society, is it? Is that something else? It's like, it's not the Roaches. It's their own thing. Either way, I'm getting off topic. It looks fun, but it's not something that I would consider a need to have. But if you do, you can go over to the Mezco store website and pick them up for $95. It's quite expensive, but that's always the case with Mezco. You get some really nice things with it. Lots of accessories and cloth goods, and the dog Bella is kind of cute. I don't think there's a lot of original accessories. I saw a lot of people saying that there's a lot of accessory reuse. I'm not entirely sure though, because again, I'm not overly au fait with this subline of Mezco. So yeah, help me out in the comments. Does this look good to you Mezco aficionados? Because I think he looks fun and quirky, and I would definitely put this as a treat yourself kind of figure, but it's not something that I think I would rush out to get. Sticking with Super 7 and one costume change later, we go over to wave 3 of The Worst. I do love the creativity in this line. They're not figures that I would ever want, but just for the thought and imagination that goes into them, it's kind of cool. A whole line of, you know, creator-owned weird villains. That's wicked. So this time we are getting, let me take a little look here. We're getting Cortex Commander and Killer Bat. So yeah, a crazy scientist-looking commander guy with a brain in a jar and a samurai baseball player. Because why not? These guys are going to be retailing for $54.99, so it's always the more high end of the spectrum. But the overall packages that you get for these two, I do really like them. Again, if it was unlimited money, unlimited space, just buy all the stuff that you think looks cool, these guys would be no-brainers. But instead, you know, we live in the real world where you got to pay for like rent and money and all that. Do you pay for money? You pay for food. But regardless, I can't justify these guys, but it is fun to look at them. They do look pretty cool.
You weak, pathetic fool. You will die.
Shao Kahn, man, one of the best, worst bosses of all time. So unfair, such a quarter muncher, but also really wicked. And finally, Storm Collectibles are giving us a new Shao Kahn, because the one that they released originally is very expensive now, but he deserves the high price tag. He's a very cool figure. But now they're doing what looks like a more modern version of Shao Kahn. This looks like he's based more on Mortal Kombat 10 and 11, so his armor is more zhuzhed up, and actually it's a more like detailed, intricate design. I think a lot of people, myself included, we prefer, for nostalgia reasons, the more basic MK2 kind of look. But actually, as far as a toyetic, impressive-looking action figure goes, this new Shao Kahn is probably he's gonna look the business. So I think if you want to pick up an old Shao Kahn now, they're probably going to start popping up on eBay now as folks think about upgrading. So this is the only picture we have of him at the moment. I'm guessing the body is going to be very similar. It looks like just from the upper torso, very much the same, which I gotta say, like, I'm not a huge fan of the body. I do think the Shao Kahn looks a little squat, a little stumpy, which is kind of funny because I watched a making of documentary of Mortal Kombat, and you see the actor, the motion capture guy who plays Shao Kahn, like he is very short, as a lot of bodybuilders are. So that kind of makes sense, to be fair. But yeah, when we find out more about it, I'll let you know. For all you Transformers fans out there, Deathsauraus has been fully funded. The newest or most recent Haslab is now complete. Boom. Going into production. Although one thing that kind of made me think, you know that old song? Things that make you go, Things that make you go, Deathsauraus, does that need to be a Haslab? I thought the whole point of Haslabs was that it was for products that you couldn't put into store because they're too big. Deathsauraus doesn't look that big, to be honest. I saw him in the cabinet at Comic-Con. He wasn't painted, but I saw the size of him, and I'm like, that's just a typical large Transformer. So I'm not too sure about that being a Haslab. I think that's kind of perverting what the idea of crowdfunding should be, because you could totally put that in store. But regardless, doesn't matter. I don't really have a dog in this race. I'm not a Transformers collector. But for those of you who are, congratulations, you're getting yourself a Deathsauraus. Mafex are doing special editions of their Dark Knight Returns Superman and Batman figures. These are really striking. I was talking earlier about the Voltron black and gold figure. There you go. Now we've got these ones based off the cover artwork, where you do just have the black silhouettes of the characters, then with the Superman shield, and I think they actually look pretty beautiful. Over in Japan, this is a store exclusive. In the US and other markets, I imagine we'll just be able to order them online, as we often do with Mafex. But I think what would work really well is if they actually provided just a 2D cardboard background diorama to like put them on to give that two-dimensional silhouette effect. I think that would have worked really well. But I mean, it wouldn't be too difficult to make yourself, actually. But yeah, as a store exclusive, this is great, because if you can't get it, you're not really missing out on something that you need to have. But it is a fun, quirky, nice to have. And yeah, I think this is kind of fun. It's a cool little bit of innovation. I dig it. And finally, for action figures, 5K Toys have shown full reveals and pricing for their Agent Serum figure, which of course is Agent Venom. And man, yeah, this looks really, really awesome. $84 can be ordered from 5ktoys.com, and it's everything that you would want in an Agent Venom figure by the looks of things. He's got the sleek kind of face, and then he's got the full Venom symbiote out kind of face with the gnashing teeth and tongue, all the different tendrils with the guns, the badass looking armor. I really like this. I gats to say, I really like the look of this, and the fact that they are immediately releasing both the black and white versions. So you can have the regular Agent Venom, or you can have Agent Anti-Venom, which last time I checked, he is still Agent Anti-Venom in the comic. So he's still got that white armor going on if you want the most contemporary one. But I love this design. I love the kind of beetle shell kind of armor plates that he has on. It just looks wicked. All the different guns and weapons, what looks to my eye like a decent amount of articulation points as well. You know, again, talking earlier about figures that I would like to have, this is definitely one that would be on my treat yourself list because this looks really awesome. Go check him out at 5ktoys.com. Going over to movies now, and one I want to talk about because it looks kind of fun in a bizarre, bonkers kind of way, is Cocaine Bear. Yep, this is coming out in February of next year and is based, probably very loosely, on a true story about a mountain bear, grizzly bear, that stumbled upon a bunch of, huge big batch of cocaine that I think fell from a plane that was being smuggled. Let me read you the synopsis. Inspired by the 1985 true story of a drug runner's plane crash, missing cocaine, and the black bear that ate it, this wild thriller finds an oddball group of cops, criminals, tourists, and teens converging in a Georgia forest where a 500-pound apex predator has ingested a staggering amount of cocaine and gone on a coke-fueled rampage for more blow and blood. Cocaine Bear is scheduled to open in theaters on February 24th, 2023. Hoo-ha! That sounds like a lot of fun. There's no trailer out for it yet, but I'm going to watch this one closely. Going over to less exciting movie news now, Disney is going to have a big old flop on their hands with Strange World. Unfortunately, this movie, it ain't doing well. In fact, it's only made about $18 million in its first few days of release, which is way below projections for what cost about $180 million. Right now they're projecting to probably lose about $100 million on this. Ouch! Then again, when you're a company the size of Disney and $100 million is like kind of a write-off, I'm not going to be losing any sleep for them. But it is a shame for everyone involved, all the talented people who made this, that I think there are a number of factors that have just kind of made it a bit snake bit. Mainly the fact that Disney just didn't market this movie. Like, where I didn't even know what Strange World was until I saw an article about how it bombed. Actually, I mentioned it once on this show like about a month ago because I saw a poster for it and I was like, this has come out of nowhere. So they obviously didn't put much of a marketing push behind it. And also there are other things at the cinema like Wakanda Forever, which are taking a lot of its potential audience. But then again, that's Disney as well. So maybe they're kind of robbing Peter to pay Paul. So it's a bit of a shame that this kind of, big movie that probably has had a lot of talent and love put into it is going to definitely be, in the red and a bit of a write-off for Disney. But also having said that, one thing I gotta say about a lot of their animated Pixar-style looking output is it's looking a bit samey, like the Encanto and the Spirit one and the one with the two Goblin brothers, and it seems like now we're getting to a stage where they're not all must see. It seems like a few of them are kind of skippable and missable, and I think this is one that people either didn't know about or saw that it was so nonchalantly promoted, they were like, nah, I'll give this one a miss. Hey look, maybe we'll all see it on Disney+. But in more exciting movie news, Ryan Reynolds has had a little Twitter exchange with none other than Miss Minutes from the TVA group over in Loki. I was trying to think of the best way to describe what that was while speaking, and it failed me. So of course, guys, Loki, the TV show, has the TVA, the Time Variance Authority? Is that it? The people who are in charge of policing time travel and multiverses, and they've had this little back and forth with Ryan Reynolds, which of course kind of goes some way to whetting our appetite and implying that the TVA is going to be involved in Deadpool 3, which is a heavy rumor that's been going around ever since they announced Hugh Jackman's Wolverine is going to be in the movie. Now it seems like this is actually going to be a huge big multiversal crossover. We might be getting carried away with the speculating online, but that seems to be Well, a lot of people are saying, even going so far as to say things like the old Fox Fantastic Four characters and like all sorts of random goofy stuff, because Deadpool can do random goofy stuff. So I'm kind of excited about that. If we have the TVA chasing Deadpool through the multiverse, boom, I'm going to be there for that. That could be a lot of fun. Speaking of fun, there is a new Mario Brothers trailer out, and I gotta say, it looks excellent. It looks really, really great. So many people were kind of poo-pooing the first reveal that they had, and they were like, oh, Chris Pratt's not doing a proper accent, and Mario has no butt. Seriously. But this looks like exactly the kind of tone that this movie needs to have. Also, it's just got everything, which I think hopefully they'll be able to get the good balance, because they're throwing in everything you would imagine you would want. Like, they've got the whole Mario Kart sections, the racetracks, the Princess Peach's castle, just everything. So hopefully they're not going to overload it with member berries and references. I hope they'll have a good heartfelt story in there, but I think they will. I just feel a good tone about this thing. I'm really excited for it. I don't want to see anything else from it now. I just want to go in fresh, and I think I'm going to have a good time. And finally, for movies, Netflix has announced a new Gamera movie that they're going to be making, and that's just kind of fun. I love my big kaiju and monster movies, and Gamera, like, to us, or maybe just to me, I'm always really bad at speaking for everyone, but to me, Gamera is just like the poor man's Godzilla. But that's not fair, because especially in Japan, Gamera is huge in and of its own right. Although, funnily enough, never ever crossed over with Godzilla. Interesting. So yeah, coming soon to Netflix, a new Gamera movie. Anything that's more kaiju and big battles, I'm pleased to see. Over in comic book news, Uncanny X-Men #1 has set a new record, selling at auction for $871,999. So this is the original first ever appearance of the X-Men, Professor X, Magneto, all of those iconic characters, and this is graded at a 9.6, this comic. It's slabbed and, sealed forever, but a 9.6 grading is bonkers. Like that is like near like mint condition, which is why it's gone for so much, because that's incredible. Like, most of the comics that I had in my collection in the 90s, just when I bought them fresh off the news racks, weren't a 9.6. So this was bought by a Canadian collector, apparently. So all you Canucks up north, congratulations, you own, I think, the most expensive copy of Uncanny X-Men #1, and also the one in the best condition as well. I thought that was pretty cool. And just a fun little tidbit, Marvel are doing a bunch of demon variant covers, and one that was particularly cool was the Devil of Hell's Kitchen is now actually a devil. The Daredevil front cover with him and Elektra as well, both being portrayed in actual devilish, demonic, monstrous looking forms. I thought those looked badass. I'm going to go and check out the other covers now. I haven't been able to find any yet, but I'm sure that they're out there. And I love me just some good, random, awesome, badass artwork. And this is good, random, awesome, badass artwork. If you're shopping for a Christmas present for the Spider-Man fan who has everything, then why not go over to the Disney store and pick up an animated series Peter Parker t-shirt. This is super fun. I at first when I saw the shirt, I didn't realize what it was. I thought oh, that's just a shirt with a Spider-Man emblem. And then I realized oh no, that's actually Peter Parker's shirt from the show. Back in the 90s, or even today, I'm not sure if cartoons still do it, but characters get one outfit. Then that's it. That's all Peter Parker wore for the whole show. And it's kind of iconic. Once I knew what it was, I was like, oh yeah, of course it is. I love this. Not available in the UK, unfortunately, which is a bit of a tease. But also for me, it kind of annoys me now because it's got the little Spider-Man logo. And I'm like, no, if I'm wearing a replica of that Peter Parker shirt, I want it to be a replica. I don't want the little Spider-Man logo, but that's just me. Regardless, I think this is a really fun little bit of merchandise. Funny story, actually. It's like Peter Parker in that show, which I love. He looks like a dork. he looks like a bit of a doofus. And it's funny because the original concept art had Peter looking way cooler. He looked way more contemporary, a more modern kind of haircut, and apparently Stan Lee saw that and was like, no, that's no good. He needs to look cool. And the guys are like, he does look cool. He's like, no, let me show you how to make him look cool. And then Stan Lee, like, that's Stan's, God bless him, that's his idea of a cool looking Peter Parker, and that's what we got. So yeah, if you want to dress just like 1995 Peter Parker, go over to the Disney store. A little custom corner here that I wanted to throw out. Good brother and friend of the show, Ricardo Sanchez, posted on the Model Behavior Facebook group a picture of his custom Daredevil. And man, this is the Daredevil that a lot of people were saying they would have preferred, myself included, where we got the 3-pack. So this is Daredevil on the Vulcan body, which seems to arguably be a little bit more appropriate for him. But more importantly for me aesthetically, he's got the much bolder differentiation in the reds on the costume. So you've got the logo, the gloves, the boots, the belt all stand out so much more. This is the Daredevil that I would have got really excited about. And to be honest, we're probably going to see a similar version on a retro card back at some point in time. So if you're agonizing over the 3-pack, maybe hold fire, because you know something like this is probably going to be in our future quite soon. In the meantime though, brother Ricardo, double thumbs up, great work. And finally, I want to talk about someone displaying model behavior in the real world. And this might be a little bit controversial, but I want to talk about it because I want to just give props to this person. So an Italian gentleman by the name of Mario Ferri ran out onto the pitch during a World Cup game on Monday between Uruguay and Portugal. And he was wearing a t-shirt that had on one side the words "Respect for Women" and on the other side, "Save Ukraine," while waving a rainbow flag. And dude, that was ballsy. And I really, really respect that. It's going to be difficult for me to talk about this because I'm always worried about sounding ignorant about different topics, and also about speaking on things that are way bigger and heavier than I'm used to talking about. But this guy took a chance to go out on a stage and make a statement. And it might seem like a futile gesture to some, but to others, this is a huge, big thing. And honestly, he's supporting causes that I would want. I do support and believe in. But honestly, I wouldn't have the guts to do what that person did. So I give huge respect to that. There are better YouTubers out there, lots of them, who have spoken about the controversies regarding the World Cup and where it's being held. And I don't want to go hugely in depth on that because even though I agree with a lot of the statements, I'm not educated enough right now in this moment to be able to talk on them. But the fact that someone was willing to take a stand, and, you know, I hope he's okay. Because, like I said, I wouldn't have the bravery or the guts to do that in that country, or any country, to be honest. I don't know, it makes me get very introspective. Am I a coward for not standing up for what I believe in? But then again, how many people are running out onto football pitches in the middle of the World Cup? Not that many, but this guy did. And for that, I give him a personal seal of model behavior. Double thumbs up to you, man. That was a heck of a statement. And that does it for model behavior for today. Guys, thank you so much for watching. What did you think about the stories covered? Comment below. Let me know. And if you like what you see here and you want to see more, then you know what you gotta do. You gotta join the 6-1 Clicks by clicking the like, share, and subscribe buttons. Gang, thank you so much for watching. And until next time, keep displaying model behavior.